Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Boys. Today we are at the fourth topic of our crash course in tactics and it is about attacking the castled king. So we have got a game study here. It's about attack on the king and let's get started with the game. It's a queen's gambit opening and we are not going to discuss the intricacies of the opening. So it's a queen's gambit game. d4, d5, c4 is the starting point of queen's gambit. White tries to put pressure on the d5 square. Black declines the gambit, protects d5. White goes knight c3, knight f6, bg5, be7, knight f3, castle e3. In this position, nd7 is most standard response. Also the move c6 and c5 are possible. Black goes with the move a6 here. It has an idea. If white plays bd3, then black wants to take dc4 and after bishop c4 gain tempo with the move b5. So what white often does is before playing bd3, he captures on d5 and doesn't lose tempo with the move dc4. So that is what white played. C takes d5, e takes d5, so called the exchange variation of queen's gambit. This game features Mikhail Botvinnik, the 6th world champion, and we have seen him use this queen's gambit as an attacking weapon, as a positional weapon. This exchange variation is very popular. Even Garry Kasparov uses many active lines of queen's gambit where white often castles long. There is another plan where white goes bd3, ne2, f3, short castle and e4. So various such setups are possible. Another very standard setup is bd3 castle and trying to go a3, b4, b5. That is when black plays c6, which is called the minority attack. So the line we are having here is going to become sharp soon. White plays bd3, black goes nd7, qc2, trying to attack the h7 square, c6. The main objective of putting bishop d3 and queen c2, firstly, see they are very active here. Secondly, often black wants to play the move ne4. So here ne4 is not possible. See, there are enough attacks on e4. After bishop e4, bg5, bishop h7 would just cost a pawn. After the move nd7, we see a6 and nd7 both combined has made black's position very passive. See, it's a solid position, but black's pieces are all cramped up, fighting for good places amongst each other. And white here, instead of going with the slow castle and allowing rook e8 and f8, as per the standard main lines, this a6 move has got become wasted here. So white goes with the very sharp g4. Not a very natural move at first, but see the threats are too dangerous. First the point is what? If black doesn't take ng4, then white himself will go bf6, knight takes f6 forced in order to guard h7, and then g5. As the knight moves, bh7 would be taken. And white's attack will also be there and he got the material as well. Problem with black is that if he prefers something like h6, then to after bf6, nf6, white can consider the move g5, hg and g5, use him a strong attack without having to sacrifice anything. So in the game, black thought, let me take the pawn and get into a similar position. So he went ng4. White of course recovers the pawn instantly, bh7 check, king h8, and now first he goes with the very useful bishop f4. See, usually such a retreat cannot be considered good, but the exchange be7, queen e7 would have only helped black. It must be noted now that g6 is terrible. After g6, bishop g6, fg, queen g6, the queen becomes dominating. Knight is heading to g5, knight is attacked, and also there are chances of knight e5 or be5, which makes this position almost winning. Also note that rook g1 is also in there. So this is a winning position for white. So black played nd f6, bd3 and knight h5, trying to take this dangerous bishop. This bishop plays a major role in the attack, as we will soon see. White here finds very strong move h3. Very simple yet very effective. The first point is that if knight takes f4, then h takes g4 check, kg8, and then see bishop h7 check. Instantly it's game over. After king h8, white mates after bg8. To note that queen h7 is possible in both cases, kg8 also, and if bh4 then also qh7 checkmates. So after h3 the knight is forced to move back. It goes to f6. If nh6 then white can either take bh6 or still continue like in the game with the move bishop e5 perhaps. White goes bishop e5. Good move, not allowing nf4 and putting pressure on the e5 h8 diagonal. Both these diagonals have become avenue for attack for white. Here black should perhaps play be6, but after ng5 the bishop on e6 becomes a target, and also white simply has long castle followed by rook dg1 and then piling up on the g5. So black goes ng8 trying to move the knight to h6. Long castle, knight h6 and rook dg1. White is playing very simply without having sacrificed anything at all. He has just got the attack. See, white's plan is very simple. The poorly placed knights are targets. So white can simply use his queen. He can get it to e2 and move the knight g5 or h4 and then enter from the h5 square. See, this plan is almost unstoppable and black could find nothing in the game actually. Black played bishop e6, to which white plays queen e2 as per his standard plan. Now see, knight g5 and knight h4 are in the air. Black has really nothing much. After f6, as we discussed, there is still nh4, f takes e5, there is ng6 check, king g8, and then after nf8, there is the very strong queen h5, winning for white. There is nothing much to do here. Black plays bishop f5, trying to stop nh4 because nh4 can be met by bd3, qd3 and then taking on h4. So white first takes on f5, bf5, nf5, and now it looks as though nh4 had been stopped, but still white has nh4. This is the move perhaps which black would have missed while playing bishop f5. Anyway, it's game over. If knight takes h4, then there is just queen h5 check, kg8 and rg7 mates. So the knight needs to be maintained on f5, and if bishop takes h4, then also see queen h5 check, kg8 and just queen takes f5. The threat of rook g7 is almost unstoppable. d6 is met by rg6, fg, qg6 mate. There is no bishop f6 because bf6 just loses the piece. Thus, after the move nh4, it's evident that black is unable to save both his knights. At least one would be lost. And this is where he chose to resign. This game, although not an out and out opposite side castle game, because white here played g4 first and then went with long castle. The idea was slightly modified, but it was all about using the pawn storm in an opposite side castle game. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do let me know how you found this course overall. We have one more lesson to go. Thanks for your time.